they're not able to discern truth as easily from the biases of the algorithm. Just look at Twitter files and shadow banning,
fascism.
Canceling. The Hunter Biden laptop files, like consciously removing that from everybody's feeds, even though everybody was talking about, or like hashtags, right? Like you get things that are trending, which everyone's talking about. And censoring that. So like another famous thing, like, there's the perfect, what better time to have a rising third party than when we have Trump versus Hillary Clinton and then Trump versus Biden. And so when Brett Weinstein started that Unity 2020 hashtag, boom, Twitter cut that off right at the head. And it was probably from a dictate from the CIA, since we know from Twitter files that they were working directly with federal government agencies.
At minimum, the FBI, but probably more alphabet soup agencies.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But and so I really think I did a pretty, if I don't say so myself, good job at highlighting that phenomenon of like trust in social media feeds and systems, and the passage article, what happens when government bans cash.
Yes.
And I think that is a good, because if you talk to boomers, like how they're going to get, boomers love cash. They grew up on cash. They believe it. They have faith in cash. And they have like a deep wisdom and understanding of why cash is valuable, right? It represents to them freedom and sovereignty and not being under the watchful eye of the bank and government, and like cash is reliable, and like nobody can cut me off and keep me from basically doing anything. If you have a bunch of cash, you can pretty much go anywhere still. That's slowly fading away, but what's going, obviously, what would compel boomers to allow the banning and doing away of cash is if it's required to receive their Social Security check only strictly digitally. Welfare beyond the dole, because that's a really, really good way of getting boomers interested in a more trustworthy form of digital cash, more trustworthy form of money, and get them to, I guess, buy into this. But
you can trust the CBDC as long as those that run the CBDC can trust you to behave a certain way.
I don't know if I'm following with that, but I mean,
as long as you're not doing something that's quote unquote wrong, right? As long as you're not committing wrong things. As long as the government there's be the plebeian that you are.
You broke. We have info from your phone that you broke curfew. We're automatically deducing $100 from your welfare check. Oh, we have this camera footage that you weren't wearing your mask. We're imposing a fine of $100 being deducted from your account.
we can't have the system without mutual trust.
Yeah. And so like clearly, like, and if you can associate a CBDC with regimes like Biden, oh, you're going to be speaking their language. Like, dude, nobody trusts or believes or wants. Nobody wants Biden controlling their bank account and their money. They don't want Biden anywhere close to having
everybody
that power.
Already associates everything that happens with what the president's doing. People associate fucking gas prices with the president. Like,
yeah,
unless it's bad.
Yeah, so this is a good way to get to spark the interest of boomers into, I guess, buying into alternative digital currencies that aren't run by the central bank.
As long as the UX can compete with what they've already got, then it's viable.
Yeah, and yeah, it's got to be done at the ground floor, local level.
It's got to come. It's got to come from people they trust.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yep. Boom.
I'd like to also raise the voice of AI and technology and how we trust that, maybe for another episode. But the technology and all the platforms and the internet itself, really. How do we know that AI is not gonna like break things? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, trust in Google, right? And what changing of definitions. There's the search results, and like also like the automated when you start searching something like Hillary Clinton, like, or like, they changed the definition of herd immunity, like all this stuff. Like there's, trust in the existing digital systems is eroding.
Yeah. I feel like trust really like gets to the root of all these, like the potential future topics. It gets to the root of a lot of them anyway. Like, and especially around like the effects of AI, it's like what you just said, eroding the trust even further.
Yeah, and gaslighting, like who that whole George Orwell saying, like, who controls the past now controls the future. Who controls the present now controls the past. What is that saying?
Sounds familiar.
Who controls the past controls the future.
Yeah.
Meaning that if you can rewrite history and like shape it a certain way that makes you feel a certain way about something. So let's just say like, oh, America's evil because of the white founders and slavery. Like, okay, now that's going to impact what we do in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, oh, Christianity's evil. Look at the Crusades and they hate gay marriage and hell. Like, if you can rewrite the history books to shape it and evoke emotions about certain things,
frame it a certain way.
Yeah, you can change the course of the future going forward. So if you can control history in the past, you can impact what happens in the future. So Orwell, I think he wrote that in 1984. I think that's where that quote comes from.
And you can control all of that by controlling the flow of information. And I think that's a great way to preview the next week topic for internet and AI.
So is it decided that we're going to talk about AI next week?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, we might put it up for a vote on the community to see which one, but we'll see. All right. Yeah, I think that's a good note to end on. I'll go ahead and stop the recording. And yeah, recording is stopped, so I guess we can really lounge now.
Now it's a lounge.
Yeah. It would be kind of cool to have another edition, like for Patreon just subscribers only. We'll have the Lotus Locker Room.
The locker room. That's funny. You can really get inside if you're a paid subscriber.
You can really just you get the front facing diplomacy on the Lotus Lounge, but if you want
you get the living room talk, you don't get the locker room talk.
Yeah, just let it fly.
Or I even like just cutting up the episodes into like short segments, like chopping and screwing it based on the content that we got, and then giving subscribers access to the full kit caboodle.
Yeah, no, that's tried and true model. Sam Harris was doing that for a while, where he was consistently putting out 3-hour podcasts, and then he got to a place where he would only release 45 minutes to an hour, and then the second or third hour would be released on Patreon. So
yeah,
makes sense.
Good model. Yeah, it's a good model.
Yeah.
Like, give out all of your effort and energy for free.
Yeah, because if people are listening, they clearly value it. So why not
improve it?
Yeah, capture some of that value so that you can continue adding value.
Yeah, not rent seek.
Yeah.
So you were thinking about different names for the Lotus Lounge?
Well, that sprung up from obviously a concern about having these things be officially affiliated. Obviously there's benefits from having a degree of separation from Lotus itself.
I think Lounge kind of already establishes that separation. It's not like Lotus, it's not like Lotus Town Hall or, like Lotus Meeting, or it's not in any official capacity. That's the whole point of Lounge.
Yeah, but you want to be pretty, but there's still that potential tie there. It's you might as well just make it completely separate. But
well, how much of a tie is there with Bitcoin Cash City and Bitcoin, official Bitcoin Cash,
yeah, well, I mean, nobody has a monopoly on the use of Lotus, but you can also make the case. I mean, this is on the official Lotus Lounge, Lotus Telegram group, so
that's a fair point.
And if it were to be posted and archived on the Passage, released under the Passage, but I don't know.
Well, that would establish the separation, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that was kind of the whole point of the Passage, was to subliminally push out the propaganda. Perestroika.
Yeah, we're just a couple of dudes that love Lotus. We're just fanboys.
Indeed.
All right, so I'm out to bed. Nice to see you all here. Thank you so much for sharing. I'll see you next week.
What time is it over there?
It's 6 a.m. almost.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm fading. It's been like a lullaby. It's nice. I like to hear your voices. All right. Have a good rest of your day.
You're gonna dream about Lotus and banks and trust.
Most likely, and trust. Yeah. I'll record a dream tomorrow morning to see what comes through. All right. Talk to you later. Thank you so much for holding space. Bye.